And I know people have been saying that they don't feel like this South Carolina team has gotten the proper, respect that they deserve with, having an undefeated season and everything. And I just think you guys are worried about the wrong shit. Yeah, could they have gotten more? How could they have gotten more attention for going undefeated and winning a national championship? Of course. But here's the thing though. Two issues that rise from that. One is we've seen it before. We've already seen a team go undefeated and win a national championship. We've seen the UConn Huskies do it. You know what I'm saying? We've also seen the team fucking four-peat. But not just that's beside the point. We've already seen a team go undefeated and win a national championship. I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm saying it's something that we've done that we've already seen before. And secondly, hate to break it to you guys, Caitlin Clark's last basketball game is kind of more important than South Carolina winning a championship that we knew from jump they were going to win. Maybe not from the beginning of the season, but we knew that when this tournament started, that it was going to take somebody being a super mega human in order to beat South Carolina. And really the only person who I thought even had the possibility to do so was Caitlin Clark. Now, I saw very, very early in that game that was not going to happen. But it still does not take away from the fact of, let's do an example here. Let's do an example here. If in 2016, right, we had the Golden State Warriors. They finished off their 73-9 season with a championship. They come out and they sweep LeBron in the finals. You know what I'm saying? They're 73-9. They have the most wins in NBA history. They won their back-to-back championship. You know what I'm saying? Whoop-de-doo, they're on top of the world. If LeBron James were to fucking retire after that game, after he got swept, my nigga, that will be more exciting than the Warriors championship. I hate to break it to you. Basketball is, and at this point will always be, a sport where superstars are going to drive the narrative. We can have an incredibly amazing team. We had a team win 73 games. 73 games in a single season. And the only reason why that is now seen as an afterthought is because another guy played against that team, came back from a 3-1 deficit, and won the championship. That's the only reason why that shit doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that South Carolina fans, you guys need to just kind of, accept reality that, yes, this is an incredible achievement. We fucking love what's happening in South Carolina for Dawn Staley as a black woman. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to turn into that, but as a black woman and see her come into this male-dominated sport and to now be a two-time champion, should be a three-time champion, you know what I'm saying, arguably, but, arguably, and just kind of like lead this program to a stratosphere where it's never been before. I think that we have to understand that, yes, the Caitlin Clark experience, it being over and now her transitioning to the WNBA, is going to be news that continues. Like, I was saying it in my group chat with my friends, like they were talking about how, it sucks that Caitlin Clark wasn't able to win a championship in 2024, win a championship during her college career. But here's the thing though. People will forget who won the 2024 national championship. I promise you they will. Give it 10 years. Give it 15 years. People will forget that the South Carolina Gamecocks went undefeated in 2024 and won the national championship. They will never forget the Caitlin Clark experience. What Caitlin Clark did for basketball over these 2 years, her junior and her senior year, I don't think we'll ever see anything that crazy ever again. You know what I'm saying? And I am somebody who's super high on Juju, you know what I'm saying, super high on her potential as a player. I just think that it would take her bursting onto the scene and becoming basically a 30-point, 10-assist a walking 30 points and 10 assists every single night. And I think Juju has the ability for sure to get the 30 points. Her playmaking is yet to be seen. But what Caitlin Clark has done for this Iowa program, like, it's not like she went to UConn. It's not like she went to Baylor or Stanford or any of these big teams that were known for, bringing in big talent and being in Final Fours. She stayed home. She's from Iowa. She went to Iowa University, and she fucking put the team on the map. She fucking introduced us to players that we might never hear from again. Like, we'll never forget, we might forget the name Kate Marshall, Hannah Stukely, Gabby Marshall, Sydney Foster. We might forget about these names. In a couple years. But just that overall experience, Caitlin Clark made those players prominent, made those players almost household names for a lot of people. And like, I think we need to just kind of just take a grasp at it and understand just what she's done for the sport of basketball. I have a little chart here that I have to pull up. And this is just kind of just a little example that we're gonna do just to kind of show what Caitlin Clark has done in terms of popularity for the women's game. 2019 Final Four. All right, 2019 Final Four featured the Baylor Bears, Notre Dame. I'm sorry. Final Four was Notre Dame, UConn, Baylor, and Oregon. You know what I'm saying? So the early semis gave you a decent yield of 1 million viewers. The second game with the UConn's the big team, the big name in the bracket. They come in, they track out 2 million views. And then the championship game, Baylor versus Notre Dame, we get 3 million views, right? 3 million views. My God, my voice cries something crazy. 3 million views. 2020, there was no tournament. In 2021, we get Stanford, South Carolina, UConn, and Arizona. Right, Stanford ends up winning a championship. This is Cameron Brink's year. So the Stanford South Carolina game gives you 1.695 million. The Arizona UConn game gives you 2.715 million. You know what I'm saying? You still have your big name there. You still have your big fish. You have Stanford. You have UConn. You have South Carolina, who's now budding. Right. That only gives you a combination of about 9 million viewers. Here we go. Here's where things get. We're closer to current day. Final Four. South Carolina, Louisville, 2022. And then we have UConn and Stanford in the other matchup. South Carolina draws you 2 million viewers, right? UConn versus Stanford draws you 3 million viewers. And then the UConn-South Carolina game brings you about 5 million viewers, which is a great jump from previous years. You know what I'm saying? In terms of just like viewership in the earlier games, like you see the population growing. Now let's go to Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark. So, in 2023, we have LSU, Virginia Tech, Iowa, South Carolina, right? Virginia Tech and LSU, getting its own right, gives you 3 million viewers, which is almost a little bit less than the championship game the year before. Iowa and South Carolina gives you 5 million, almost 6 million views for one game, easily breaking the record for the most for viewers in the Final Four. Easily 5 million viewers. And that's not even the championship game. In the championship game, we're looking at almost 10 million viewers across ESPN and ESPN2, ESPNU, and ABC. The girl is moving mountains. Now let's talk about this year. This year, the fucking the Caitlin Clark hype train is at an all-time high. We're seeing fucking arguments on Twitter that I've never seen before. You know what I'm saying? We're having women's GOAT debates, women basketball GOAT debates on Twitter because of this Caitlin Clark effect, right? So South Carolina, NC State, everybody knew that game was going to be a blowout. Hate to break it to you. It was kind of a forced conclusion that South Carolina was going to win that game. It still yields you 7 million viewers, which is fucking fantastic. Breaks the viewership record for every previous year. Iowa versus UConn yielded you 14.2 million views across ESPN and ESPN2, right? Not even nationally broadcasted on ABC. You know what I'm saying? The national championship game between Iowa versus South Carolina, a game where I promise you, 80% of the population knew South Carolina was going to beat the dog shit out of somebody to win a national championship. That game yielded you 18 million views. 18 million views. And we have people that are coming out of their mouth to discredit Caitlin Clark's impact on the game. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out. We probably haven't seen viewership numbers jump like this since probably since the Magic and Bird era. It's not every year that you see somebody come in and become the new face of an entire sport before they become pros, before they become even professionals. You know what I'm saying? The jump that Caitlin Clark has given to the game of basketball is something that should be commended, something that should be fucking put on a pedestal, and something that should be just be loved and shared, because my nigga, it's not going to happen a dime a dozen. It's not going to happen every couple of years. Now we have a player who has this much impact. I'm going to be tuned in to the women's college basketball season next season because I want to see Hannah Hidalgo and Juju Watkins and Pages last year, and I want to see if South Carolina can repeat. I want to see all that shit. the casual viewer, I don't think they're going to do that. And I think that when we get viewer reports that come out next year and we just see the decline that took place because one person decided to graduate from college, we're going to be blown away. Not we, y'all are going to be blown away. I'm not going to be surprised. Because I see what the girl has done. I see how she put Iowa on the map. I see how she's out here influencing other people, other little girls to think that they can be just like her. And I'm only going to respect that. You're only going to hear positive things coming from it from me